Well, well, well. Every now and then I get one of these guys, these religious guys that wants to come over here and argue with me, and I told him that I was born, you know, half Jew, and I was raised Lutheran, so Christian. So I got an aspect of kind of both sides here. You know, I don't know how to speak the language well, but obviously I know a little bit about it because we all know who they're all tied in with, right? You don't have to be a brain. So this guy starts giving me a bunch of crap, telling me Jacob isn't Saturn, and he's not that. Jacob is the lion. This is his page. There's his logo, the lion. And he said he's watched most of my videos. I don't remember no guy named Pastor Picos, okay, ever commenting on any of my videos. And he couldn't have watched most of my videos because even you guys haven't seen most of my videos because they go back all the way to 2008. And he only showed up after I put the video up with, you know, the Bible with the X in it. Let's take a look at that here for a second real quick. Okay, so here it is. You saw this in my other video. I didn't make this freaking picture. I just followed my senses like a detective was, and it brought me to this fucking page from a fucking Scottish fucking word called AR, which I just pieced some shit together in my head, and it brought me to this page. I didn't put that X in that King James Bible, nor did I write down that it was from the book of Psalms in the reign of King James VI. I didn't do that. It's only when this kind of stuff happens that these guys come out of the woodwork and all of a sudden start saying, "Oh, I'm doing this and blah 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 blah." You know, Jesus this and Jesus. I don't. You know what? Save it, stupids. I don't care. I'm showing people how you guys are jacking them around. Now, if you go to this guy's page, I'll put a link. You'll notice that he's wearing a blue shirt and a black shirt and a white shirt. Okay? This shit is screaming Mason all day long because this is what this is. King James was a Mason. You can go read that anywhere. And you know what? Goody for the Masons. You know what? They're just a business. They're like everything else on this planet. They're a business. They're in it to make money. It's what they do. Your spirituality, I believe in Jesus Christ, but they can't seem to get that because I don't want to follow every little thing that they say. As I told this dope, would it made a difference if Jesus was a pine tree? It's the message. It's not the man. It's got nothing to do with it. This whole thing with Jacob. Okay, let's walk back through it real quick. The Jews speak ancient Phoenician. There is no Hebrew language. Okay? The word Israel in Phoenician means the planet Saturn. Jacob is named Israel. Israel is the name of the planet Saturn in Phoenicia. It's a complete circle. They like that, right? It's a complete circle. So Jacob is Saturn. There's no way to get around it. If you go read about Jacob, his old man told him stop worshiping this silly bullshit and get rid of those trinkets because they were associated with this big X here. Jacob's old lady took him and hit him and told the old man, yeah, we got rid of him. Noah's wife did the same thing. She smuggled the same shit onto the ark via the story, whether it's true or not, it's the story, and started the whole thing up again after the quasi-flood, whatever. Okay? So, you know, this stuff has always been here because it always gets snuck through. That's how it's managed to exist today. Every church, mosque, and temple is built by the Masons. They all have sexual Masonic, Hebrew, and theosophical decor embedded in it, primarily the cube. They all have the two pillars. They all have the same representation. The Christian church is nothing more than a watered-down Masonic lodge. They use different words and they use different ceremonies, but when you go up to take communion, you walk through the same two pillars that you do when you go into the bank. You got to walk between the two pillars to go into the bank. You got to walk between the two pillars, the little gate, to go in front of the judge, because it falls underneath Phoenician maritime law, the law of the sea. Okay? All of this bickering about Jacob is, I don't give a fuck what Jacob was. Robin Williams played a guy called Jacob in a movie called Jacob the Liar. Now, even though you think that was a movie about a guy that was lying to the Nazis, it's really a statement about the truth of the story. I told you, the Jews are the raiders of the Lost Ark. If you go read in the Old Testament, they raped Egypt on their way out. It clearly tells you that they raped them. Okay? This is not a Jew-bashing ceremony. If you put yourself into the spotlight, expect people not to like you. And that's what the Jews have done. The UN colors are Hebrew blue. Okay? They're running the show. Make no mistake. This X, you know, you guys know what it is. You've seen it a billion times. It's everywhere. Okay? It's no coincidence that there's a number 3 right here. See it? And that 3 is affiliated with that. And that 3 is the Kabbalistic number of Saturn on the Hebrew, not the Masonic, on the Hebrew Kabbalistic tree of life. Okay? But yet King James was a Mason, and he's got a Kabbalistic symbol. Also, in case you didn't know, Kabbalah was accepted in the church up until the 18th century. Okay? There is no division. It's a watered-down Masonic lodge. You call the guy in the lodge worshipful master, the dude that sits in a big chair. You call the priest or the pastor father. Which is funny because the Bible says, call no man father except your Father in heaven. Why would we be saying that in church? That kind of goes against the grain. But I do like that dude's logo. If we go back. His logo here. Right here, let me bring it up one more size. I think this is it. His logo here, you know, it says the Lion and the Lamb Ministry. So you basically, you got Saturn in the church ministries. Okay? Look, they can go fool everybody they want to. That's what it is. The church is in league with the whole thing. It always has been and it always will be. It makes you feel like you have a choice to believe what you want, but you don't, because they're all worshiping one thing. And the cube represents all of it, all wrapped up in a nice little fucking box. So I'll put a link to this guy's page. You can go see him with his nice Masonic blue and black t-shirts, which is the left pillar in Saturn. Oh, he's got a white one too, because he's supposed to be impartial. I guess that's what that is. Although I didn't see a red shirt, I'm surprised. So maybe he's a member of the Blue Lodge, whatever. This silly shit here, once you understand that the lamb, the lion and the lamb, and what the lion is, he walks upon the earth seeking whom he may devour. It's Saturn. It's all the same story. It's one fucking story. That's it. No matter what religion you go to, one story. From the beginning of time, because we live in a fractal reality. But they want you to believe all of this other silly shit that goes with it. The message of Jesus is concise and clear. And then there's a bunch of this silly shit going on the side where they're playing on the heartstrings of people, because a lot of money gets collected because people have good intentions. And that's what all this is about. The lion has nothing to do with anything good. Remember Samson ripped its fucking jaws apart? Do you remember that story? Probably not if you're not biblical. The lion, nowhere in the Bible is he like a good guy. He's in the book of Job described as being he who walks up and down the earth, seeking whom he may devour. Okay? And that's time, and it's a whole Saturn thing over and over and over again. So I'll put a link to this guy's page. And hey, listen, feel free if you want to join this guy. No hard feelings here. I'm just telling you, it's all the same story.